The reverse retros are official, folks. We're going to talk about them here. We're also going to talk about that tough overtime loss to the St. Louis Blues. And what is Dave Haxtell saying about Shane Wright now that he has recorded his first point in the NHL? All that and more on this episode of Locked On Kraken.
You are Locked On Kraken, your daily podcast on the Seattle Kraken, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
We are the Seattle Kraken.
Hey, Seattle hockey fans, welcome to another episode of Locked On Kraken. My name is Erica L. Ayala. I am your host of Locked On Kraken. And for those who don't know me so well, I'm your original host of Locked On Kraken. We started before the inaugural season. And just to be clear, I am I feel I can say this confidently, not only am I your only Seattle Kraken podcast host that wears anchor earrings, I also wore anchor earrings before Buoy officially existed and before JT Brown donned them on the broadcast. Yes, that is my claim to fame. I love these earrings. Some of you may remember I bought these earrings when I dressed up as Uma from the Descendants. Great. Love Uma. She is the daughter of Ursula the Sea Witch. And I had an Uma-inspired costume. And these earrings helped. For those you can watch on YouTube. Also, I've posted about them before, but I love these earrings. And the earrings are apropos for today. I'm wearing the Seattle Kraken inaugural season jersey because we're talking retros, baby. I know we talked about it a little bit on yesterday's show. We are going to recap the loss, but I mean, come on. Let's talk about the jerseys. It's more current. It's more fun. That's what everyone wants to talk about. Let's talk about the retros. So the Seattle Kraken have a retro jersey, which is kind of like, what's that about? Because we're a brand new team, brand spankety new, doobity doo. But let's take a look first at all of the jerseys. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see that in the upper left quadrant, we start with Florida, Montreal, Detroit, and Calgary. Two powder blues and two kind of red themes. Then you've got Winnipeg, Tampa Bay, Toronto, and I believe that's Edmonton, the Oilers in the middle. To the right, you've got the Anaheim Ducks, the Buffalo Sabres, and the Boston Bruins, all with a white backdrop. Okay, second row, first column, we've got the Predators, the St. Louis Blues, boo to the St. Louis Blues. We just played them. And the Arizona Coyotes in the middle. Oh, heyo. That's where you see the Seattle Kraken. Oh, yeah, and the Sharks and the Stars, or I guess, and the Minnesota Wilds. And actually, what is that team? It's got like a lumberjack. I should know this because I've seen the retros. I'm blanking. Anyway, then you've got the Canes, the Colorado Avalanche, Chicago, and the Capitals, the New York Rangers, Columbus Blue Jackets in the first column, third row, and then the Ottawa Senators, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Philadelphia Flyers. Ooh, right next to each other in the middle row of the third, or the middle column, of the third row. And then Los Kings, the Devils, and the Islanders closing it out. So this is a look at everything. Quick look at everything there. That's the reverse retro collection in, of course, they are the Adidas, as you can see from that Blake Bolden. These are the Adidas reverse retros. So just a little bit more on the reverse retros, particularly for the Seattle Kraken. A fan-friendly tradition of reverse retro jerseys is primed to include the Kraken faithful for the first time. While new to the NHL, Seattle has more than 100 years of pro hockey history to inspire. So the reverse retro, the idea is just like going back to your roots. But let's talk about it. The phrase reverse retro. See, like when you reverse something, it's like you go back. So you're going back, but retro already implies nostalgia. So is a reverse retro like a modern take on the phrase in and of itself is not my favorite, reverse retro. And then the Seattle Kraken design, they don't really change the logo, well, because like another logo didn't exist per se. But as we will see in this nice article up by Bob Condor, that's what I was just reading from, retro jersey honors the Ironmen. So now I talked about the Americans, I talked about the totems, but this reverse retro for the Seattle Kraken is honoring the Ironmen. If you've been following what Lewicki has been saying, what Ron Francis has been saying, you really shouldn't be surprised that it's not the Metropolitans. Get the sense that they want to do something special. Some people have been saying like an outdoor winter classic. Other people have been saying they want to keep it special for Stanley Cup, or like a playoff appearance or something like that. Something really cool that we can do with I almost said New York Metropolitans, with the Seattle Metropolitans. Neither here nor there, I suppose. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to go back for those watching on YouTube to this article. This year, the team honors the Seattle Ironmen, first formed as the Isaacson Ironmen of the Northwest Industrial Hockey League, the NIHL, in 1943-44 amidst the Second World War. The renamed Seattle Ironmen later joined the Professional Pacific Coast Hockey League, formed after the war. Lesser known than the Stanley Cup winning Metropolitans and long-standing Totems, both worthy of reverse retro choices of their own and hold that passion for future seasons, the Ironmen were vital to Seattle pro hockey's through line. During the changes of the war years, they kept hockey alive in the Pacific Northwest, providing fans a distraction from the troubles of the 1940s. A little bit more, and then we'll go into the design of it all. Known as the Bad Men of the Pacific Coast, they were a team to reckon with, known for playing hard-nosed hockey, blue-collar, shoulder-to-the-task focused hockey. The Ironmen played in 8 PCHL seasons, compiling a record of 491, 239, 211. Their most notable players were future NHL goalie Al Rollins, who played for Toronto, Chicago, and the Rangers during the 1950s, and defenseman Fred Sherrow, who went on to a Hall of Fame career as a 2-time Stanley Cup winning coach with the Philadelphia Flyers. The retro jerseys feature the broad horizontal stripes pattern on the original Ironmen uniforms, with the popular lighter ice blue color gracing the shoulders and upper chest. The deep blue color that is the base for Seattle's home kit provides a sturdy backdrop for the already iconic S logo with negative space, tentacle, and mysterious foreboding red Kraken eye. Horizontal stripes continue in a thin pattern on the sleeves, jersey tail, and hockey socks. So you see Oliver Bjorkstrand here is donning the uni for us. And then just quickly, the Kraken will wear the jersey for 4 home games beginning November 13th against Winnipeg, then December 3rd against Florida, December 30th against Edmonton, and Boston. And there will be 4 different special edition poster giveaways for those 4 nights. And you can, of course, start to pre-order your reverse retro jersey. It's already started. We can do that now. So let me know what you think about the reverse retros. Am I in love with them? Absolutely not. Do I get it a little bit more with the Ironmen? And sure, I think what's throwing me is a little bit of the logo is not reverse at all. I think they could have. So if you look at the Seattle Kraken, for those that are not on YouTube, I'm holding this up, but there's like a sharp point to the Seattle Kraken logo. And then if I go back to what we see for the Ironmen, I just want to go here quickly for you. You see in this that there's a little bit of a split, almost like a whale tail right there. I think maybe changing the S shape for the reverse retro would have made me feel like it was a little bit more of a reverse retro instead of just our jersey thrown onto, something else. And I hear what they're saying about the blocking, but if you look at our reverse retro, the blocking doesn't even match really what we see from the Ironmen. I don't know. I think I would have liked it a little bit more if the S had changed a little bit. I mean, keep the eye, keep the tentacle. We love that detail. But I think even if they had changed just the point of the S, I would have liked it a little bit more. Those are my thoughts. Let me know. What do you think? Question of the day. How do you like the reverse retros? Who are you getting on your reverse retro? I've said it before. This is a blank jersey. I'm not getting a name on a jersey till they have their first BIPOC player, so still waiting there. Also, a few other people said maybe if we're going reverse retro, just use the anchor, the secondary logo. I agree. I would have loved, hence my anchor earrings. I would have loved to see the anchor on the front. I also would have loved for the S to change a little bit. Either one of those would have been a better call in my estimation. But who cares what I think? I mean, I know y'all do. And I love that y'all listen to Locked On Kraken, make it a part of your daily routine. I know some of you don't listen for your first listen of the day. You've told me that, and that's fine. I love it. I love that you listen on a daily basis. I'm here for it. Let's talk about yesterday's overtime loss, and we'll continue on with the conversation that is never ending. It's the never ending story, if you will. What is the Seattle Kraken doing with Shane Wright? That's coming up, of course, here on Locked On Kraken. Right now, though, I am going to tell you about one of our sponsors, keeps the lights on, and of course, that is Bet Online. Bet Online is your number one source for all that you need. We're in football season. We're in now NBA season. We're in NHL season. And as always, Bet Online remains your continued source for all your sports wagering information, live betting, up-to-the-minute scores for every sport out there. Every men's sport out there. Head to the website today. Use your mobile device to learn more. Bet Online, where the game starts. All right, Seattle hockey fans, we talked about the reverse retros. I told you I'm meh. That's kind of where I'm at. I would have liked a little bit of a change to the S, a little less blocking, a little less stripety stripe. But it's all good in the hood. But let me know, are you going to buy yours? Whose name are you getting on the back? If you're wondering, Ayala 22. Ayala number 22. All jokes aside, let me know how you feel about that. But let's talk about this Seattle Kraken loss. Wasn't a terrible game, but there were some inconsistencies, or maybe better way of saying it, there were some consistent challenges, including that the Seattle Kraken give up a goal. Now, it wasn't in the first 5 minutes. It was at 7:16 mark, but Jordan Kyrou scores the opening goal. Will Borgen did get a goal within 3 minutes, so that was good. But then a response goal. We give up a response goal. Can't do that. And then we give up another one to boot. They had 2 goals within 20 seconds of each other in the first period. Not a great period. and some of these goals that you see here, it's just one of them, I think Martin Jones, he tried to play the puck and it was a little bit of a soft pass. Either he's got to stay in the net or he's got to be a little bit more strong on the puck there. Not great. But then the boy wonder Ryan Donato gets us on the board, and then Adam Larson shoots one on net, deflects in, and that's how we got tied. We get a tie game going into the third period, and then no goals in the third period. Overtime, it's Justin Falk. That's his name, Faulk. Anyway, he gets the game-winning goal for St. Louis. Let's hear from Shane Wright after the game. It was a little bit of a delayed call there for the point, but let's hear from Shane.
I didn't know. I kind of thought in the play that maybe I would have gotten an assist there. I thought I touched the puck, but didn't know in the room until they announced it. So obviously, a pretty cool moment for sure. Definitely really special for me for sure. Yeah. Like I didn't know until they announced it. Yeah. I think every game, I feel more comfortable, feel more confident out there. I think that's just kind of part of the learning experience, part of the learning curve, as everyone's been saying to me. Everyone obviously we have a number of knowledgeable guys and experienced guys on the team and coaches as well. So, they've been talking me through it, just saying, it's going to take a couple games to get in the swing of things. It's going to take a couple games to get used to the speed and the pace and all that. So, definitely a really good step forward personally for me today, and I hope I can keep that going in the future.
What has the team told you about the long range plan in terms of number of minutes, number of games, game situations, things like that?
Honestly, it just kind of told me to take it one game at a time. Just kind of take it, every single day. Just keep growing, keep developing. Keep learning from all the teammates, all the coaches, and just grow as a player, grow as a person, and gain that experience in the league as much as I can. So, not really focused too much on long term right now. Really, just kind of focus on the here and now, and what's going out our day-to-day business.
Shane just told us about taking it day by day. Did you kind of have a feeling, or
you know what? Yeah, you know what, Ryder. Ryder, obviously, I think, getting his first point is awesome. I think that's a great step. Deserved to score his first goal tonight. That line did everything right on that shift. Now I got to get him on the ice for a couple more minutes a night and just continue letting him grow. I liked his game tonight. I liked their lines game, and I liked the confidence that they showed on in the few shifts that they had in the third period. I really liked their confidence level, and he's the centerman. He's the leader of that line. Don't get me wrong, we're not happy. It's disappointing to not come away with 2 points tonight, but no way will I let our group be disappointed with their effort tonight. Or the way they played as a group. That's like I said, that's a kind of a baseline standard for us.
And so you heard from Shane. He thought he got it. He wasn't completely sure. Then he heard it, and it was cool. We saw Wright, his family was in attendance. His father wiping away what presumably was a tear, but his mom just clapping along with the music. DJ Trunks does a great job. So that was pretty cool. Also want to talk about Ryan Donato. JT Brown mentioned this, and it was confirmed by Allison Lucan on Twitter. But JT mentioned that every time Donato has been a healthy scratch, he has scored in his next return to the roster. So I know folks are like, oh, he took bad penalties. Listen, everyone from Seattle's taking bad penalties right now, okay? Let's not punish our dear man Ryan Donato for things that the rest of the team's not doing either. In Ryan Donato, I stand. He can do no wrong, no harm in my estimation. But it was a great breakout. Brandon Tanev springs Donato. Let's hear from Ryan Donato about what he saw on that play.
On your goal, you obviously got behind the defense. Tanev made a great pass. What made you decide to get out of the zone there and go look for it?
I don't know. Sometimes when that other guy blocks a shot and he's low, and their D was already creeping behind me, trying to cheat behind me, I just kind of felt them that I could take off. And kudos to Turbo for making a great play.
With you guys, when you call timeout there, you guys having to regroup. How do you kind of flip the script after the way the first two games had gone, the way the first period had gone, to get back into this one?
I don't know. I think we're all professionals, so it's tough. It's not the way you wanted it to go. but you can't just linger on it and worry too much about it. We know how good we can be when we do turn the game around and play our way, and we just got to realize that when we do that, the game's in our hands, and it showed tonight.
Donnie, whether he plays, a lot of minutes or fewer minutes, he always finds a way to impact the game in a good way. He competes hard, he competes the right way. You see him going in on a breakaway, you feel pretty good about that opportunity. And, he didn't score in the initial rush, but he's too stubborn, just to float by the net. He stops on it and he finds a way to jam it in the back of the net.
And so you heard from Ryan Donato. He knows that guys on breakaways can do a little bit too much, felt that he did a little bit too much, but I love it. Takes the original shot, tries to get the second helpings, goes back for thirds, and that's ultimately what leads to the goal. Dave Haxtell talk a little bit about that. I like this boy, Ryan Donato. Let's make him a forever home in Seattle, because you know why? He loves us more than he loved the rest. I know he's known as a little bit of journeyman, maybe starts off strong and peters out. Oh no, Donato's in it for the real deal. All right, folks. Coming up next on Locked On Kraken, I talked about the reverse retros, but what are other people saying about the reverse retros? And then we don't have the team on the ice tonight. They canceled practice. So we come back tomorrow. It's a game day. The Seattle Kraken will once again take the ice, and they will take on a big one, the Colorado Avalanche. Andre Burakovsky's first revenge game, although I guess it can't really be a revenge game because, well, he came over willingly, not in the expansion draft. Philip Grubauer, will he get the start? We'll talk about all of that on tomorrow's episode of Locked On Kraken. We thank you for listening to Locked On Kraken, and we also want to let you know about our game to game. This is on Locked On NHL. Every moment, every top performance, every result. That is our game to game. When you have all 32 teams in action, you will get a recap from all of us here at Locked On NHL. It's going to cover everything with local analysis that only Locked On can deliver. Follow Game to Game on Locked On NHL, available on Odyssey app, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We've talked about the retros. I gave you my thoughts. We talked about yesterday's game, but now let's hear from some of the experts, quote unquote, hear what they have to say about these reverse retros. And are they a doozies, even with some uppercut, jab, and stabs at Buoy the Seattle. The hate that Buoy is getting, I cannot accept it. And that people think Gritty is better looking than Buoy the Seattle. I have lots of questions. That's coming up on Locked On Kraken. Greg Wyshynski from ESPN ranked the jerseys. Where do the Kraken lie? Well, we lie at 22 for Greg. So he went from first his favorite to we're at 24. Well, I thought it was 22. We're at 24 for Greg. He went from his favorite to least favorite. Here are his comments. These are his words, not mine. What's a nostalgic Kraken jersey? A Mark Giordano sweater? Ha, aha, aha. I added the laughs just in case you're not watching on YouTube. Anyway, obviously lacking history, Seattle just decided to make a sea green jersey. Excuse me, it's not sea green. Thank you very much. That makes it look like they're wearing a cummerbund under their own logo. Ooh, harsh. Way harsh, Ty. Way harsh, Greg. It's not a bad looking sweater. It's just not as audacious. It's just not as audacious as one might expect from a team nicknamed after a mythical sea creature. It's a reverse retro with real, quote, why don't we make our mascot a troll doll energy? Oh, burn, Greg. And he links to another article here, which I am not going to click on, but also Paul Bissonnette taking shots at Buoy the Sea Troll, saying he is ugly. I mean, I do not categorize people by their looks, which isn't that also what, Paul, you didn't want women doing? You felt that the only reason that there were women in hockey is because we rank them on how hot they are? So are you telling me that the only reason men are in hockey is because y'all rank how hot the mascots are? I don't understand. I don't want to understand. Also, if you look at the little button nose, and I have a button nose. Look at my nose. I have a little button nose, so I get it. Little cute little button nose. A lot of people told me when that, what was it, the Kleenex or whatever commercial came out. But anyway, I'm going off the rails, even more off the rails. Anyway, I've got a cute little button nose. Stands out on my face. I don't have those ears though, Paul. I don't have those. My ears are teeny tiny. Sometimes I forget they're even there. But for someone that's got a little button nose and some good sized ears, for you to say Buoy the sea troll is ugly, that's a choice, homie. That's a choice. I mean, I'm showing the watch party thing up here right now because I mean, Buoy's got a cute little button nose and some big old ears. I don't know, fam. I don't know if I would be doing that. I don't think Buoy's unattractive. I have never thought of Paul and his looks other than to say that I do think he has some features similar to Buoy the Troll. I'm going to leave it there. You can make up your own mind. Went on a tangent. Greg Wyshynski, thanks a lot for that, calling us out for Buoy. And then we also have The Athletic. They have us at 25. 25. They went from 32 to their top 25. Seattle gets points for unveiling a third jersey of any kind, but this one misses the mark. Not sure why the Kraken did not bring closer to the Seattle Metropolitans look here. Lots of ways to go, and we get this. Okay, I've told you why we don't do the Seattle Metropolitans. Like, if I know, I think y'all should probably know by now. I feel like this has been common. Am I wrong? Have y'all known this for a while? Because I feel like I have. Anyway, Lazarus. That is a lot of stripes. I agree with Alex. The Metropolitans S was right there. Of course, so was Vladimir Tarasenko. Wow, the hits keep coming. Gentile. They've been excluded from the assignment. Now, this I agree with to an extent. The news release said the crest is seemingly submerged by the navy blue water. Whatever. Seemingly, that's a weird. It's seemingly submerged. I agree. That's a weird way of classifying it. I don't know. I am still waiting. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not in love with it. I don't hate it. I do think it's a lot of stripes. So 24, 25 out of 32. Well, kind of like how the Seattle Kraken are likely going to finish this regular season in the standings right now. The Seattle Kraken in the Pacific Division. So 24th, 25th in the rankings, kind of like where we are in the league standings. Right now, the Seattle Kraken sit at 21st, 5-1, 2-2 on the season. That puts us in 4th overall in the Pacific Division. So whether it's our jerseys or our performance on the ice, we're just below middle of the pack. All right, that'll do for our show. Again, tomorrow we are going to talk about the Colorado Avalanche against the Seattle Kraken. That will be an away game for Seattle, so we'll see how they fare on the road. Didn't really get what they wanted out of the homestand, but we'll have another chance. But now that you have listened to Locked On Kraken, I've told you about Game to Game on Locked On NHL. Also, if you like the concept of Game to Game for Locked On NHL, then make sure you listen to Locked On Sports Today. Peter Burkowski, I've been on his show. I've hosted that show a time or two, but Locked On Sports Today, great way to know what's happening in the sports world, as only Locked On Kraken can have you covered. We'll have the local experts. We're talking about the big showdowns. We're talking about the big storylines. That's on Locked On Sports Today. You can also listen to Locked On Fantasy Hockey with Steel Roden and Flip Livingstone. They will bring you the fantasy edge and keep you ahead of the competition with daily updates of news, analysis, and advice every Monday through Friday. Also available on the Odyssey app, on YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. But for Locked On Kraken, until tomorrow, hold fast, stay true, and let's go Kraken. I'll catch you next episode.